You think you have an opinion on Drake? Whether you see him as a musical genius, a cultural icon, or hip hop's biggest villain, what if I told you that opinion might not be entirely your own? What if it was carefully shaped for you by an invisible force? We're about to look at how powerful algorithms and AI are secretly steering the online narratives and controversies you see every day, manufacturing a version of reality that serves their own goals. And your thoughts on Drake? They might be the perfect example of how it all works. It all starts with the simple fact of modern life. The content you see online isn't a perfect mirror of reality. It's a funhouse mirror, warped and distorted by one single goal: engagement. Every platform, from TikTok to Instagram to Spotify and YouTube, is driven by an algorithm. And that algorithm's job isn't to inform you or to give you a balanced perspective. Its job is to keep your eyes on the screen for as long as humanly possible. How does it do that? By feeding you what gets the biggest emotional reaction. And nothing gets a bigger reaction than conflict. Outrage, anger, and controversy are rocket fuel for these platforms. A calm, measured discussion doesn't go viral. A brutal, dramatic war of words? That's algorithmic gold. This creates a feedback loop. The more controversy you engage with, the more you're shown. Your entire digital world can become a curated war zone, and you're its primary soldier. No recent conflict has been more algorithmically potent than the one between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. The feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar was more than just a rap battle. It was a global, real-time experiment in algorithmic warfare. When the diss tracks started dropping, the AI-driven systems of every major platform went into overdrive. Tracks like Kendrick's Not Like Us weren't just songs. They became digital weapons, amplified and distributed by systems designed to maximize engagement. But this is where it gets darker. It's not just about showing you the song. The algorithm surrounds it with an entire ecosystem of conflict. It pushes an endless stream of reaction videos, breakdown analyses, memes, and hateful comment sections right into your feed. It creates the perception of a massive, all-encompassing war because the AI identifies this conflict as a high-engagement event. You might have had a neutral or even positive opinion of Drake, but if your feed is suddenly flooded with content about the accusations against him, your perception will inevitably shift. The sheer volume of content creates a new consensus, not because it's necessarily true, but because it's algorithmically favored. This situation escalated to the point where Drake himself took legal action. In a petition filed against Universal Music Group, Drake's company alleged that the label launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services with Not Like Us. The filing claims they used bots to inflate streaming numbers and even alleged UMG paid Apple to have Siri misdirect users asking for a Drake album to Kendrick's diss track instead. While UMG has denied these claims, calling them offensive and untrue, the very existence of this lawsuit reveals a critical truth. The battle for public opinion is now being fought over control of these recommendation algorithms. It's no longer about who has the better diss track, it's about who can better manipulate the code that dictates what millions of people see and hear. If algorithmic amplification is the engine, then AI-generated content is the fuel. The Drake-Kendrick beef was a breeding ground for it. Drake himself used AI-generated vocals of Tupac and Snoop Dogg in his diss track, Tailor-Made Freestyle, an act that prompted Tupac's estate to threaten a lawsuit, forcing Drake to pull the song. But this goes far beyond the artists themselves. We are now in an era where anyone can create convincing deepfakes, fake images, and false stories. We saw it when AI-generated explicit images of Taylor Swift went viral, and with fake product endorsements from celebrities like Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey. It's a tool that can be weaponized to create entirely fabricated narratives. Imagine a deepfake video of a musician endorsing a political candidate they despise, or a series of AI-generated images showing them in a compromising situation. In the heat of an online controversy, these fakes can spread like wildfire because the algorithm pours gasoline on the flames because of the massive engagement they generate. By the time the truth comes out, the damage to public perception is already done. The algorithm doesn't fact check. It only cares that you clicked, commented, and shared. It only cares that you reacted. This isn't just about fakes. It's about psychological manipulation. Artists and brands can design entire campaigns to create a state of constant speculation, knowing it will get amplified. Cryptic posts, mysterious countdowns, and symbolic videos are all crafted to get people talking. It leverages our brain's reward system, keeping us hooked. The algorithm sees this buzz and pushes it to more people, creating a self-sustaining hype cycle built on manufactured mystery. Your curiosity is being farmed for engagement. It's a lot to take in. The feeling that your own thoughts are being influenced by invisible code can be unsettling, but understanding the system is the first step to beating it. If you want to keep learning how technology is really shaping our world, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're just getting started. So why does all this happen? Is there some grand conspiracy in Silicon Valley to ruin Drake's reputation? The answer is both simpler and more troubling. It's not personal, it's business. The business model of almost every major social media and streaming platform is built on the attention economy. Your attention is the product they sell to advertisers. The more minutes they can keep you on their platform, the more ads they can show you, and the more money they make. This single-minded focus has profound consequences. An algorithm driven by profit will always prioritize sensationalism over substance. It will always prioritize emotional reaction over nuanced thought. It has an inherent bias, not towards a political party or a celebrity, but to whatever keeps you scrolling. It learns that content about Drake's feuds and legal battles generates more watch time than content about his musical craftsmanship or philanthropy. Therefore, it concludes that controversial Drake is the version of him you should see. It's a system that actively promotes polarization because a polarized user is an engaged user. It flattens complex human beings into one-dimensional characters, heroes, or villains, because those simple narratives are easier to process and provoke stronger reactions. Drake isn't a person. He's a data point, a collection of keywords to be optimized. The AI isn't anti-Drake, it's pro-chaos. And in the attention economy, chaos is profitable. So are we all just puppets on algorithmic strings? It can certainly feel that way, but the moment you understand the puppeteer, you can start cutting those strings. Reclaiming your intellectual autonomy isn't about deleting all your accounts and moving to a cabin in the woods. It's about developing a new kind of media literacy. First, recognize the pattern. When you see a story, especially a controversial one, ask yourself, how is the platform framing this for me? Look at the recommended videos. Check the top comments. Are they all pushing one single, highly emotional narrative? That's the algorithm at work. Second, actively seek out counter-programming. If your feed is only showing you one side of the story, deliberately search for alternative viewpoints. Look for long-form interviews, in-depth analyses from credible critics, or articles from reputable sources. You have to consciously fight the feedback loop by diversifying your information diet. Don't let the algorithm build you a prison of opinion. Third, be aware of your own emotional response. When you feel that surge of outrage from a headline, pause. That feeling is what the algorithm is designed to provoke. It's a psychological nudge. Ask yourself, am I being informed or am I being manipulated? Taking that brief pause before you like, comment, or share is an act of resistance. It's you telling the machine that you are in control. Finally, understand that the goal isn't to have the correct opinion on Drake. The goal is to have your opinion. An opinion formed from a variety of sources, critical thinking, and self-awareness, not one that has been algorithmically assembled for you. The battle over Drake's public image is a perfect snapshot of a much larger struggle. It's a struggle for our own thoughts in an age where powerful AI is designed to influence them. These systems aren't going anywhere. If anything, they'll only become more sophisticated, more personalized, and more persuasive. We're the first generation to navigate this new world, and the habits we form now are critical. We have to learn to see the code behind the curtain, to recognize manipulation, and to consciously choose how we engage with the information being constantly pushed on us. The AI wants you to think what it tells you to think. It wants you to feel what it tells you to feel. So the next time you scroll past a story about Drake or anyone else, ask yourself the big question. Is this what I really think? Or is this what the algorithm wants me to think?